We're good.
So you have different ways that plants are looked at. So you have like stuff in the field, and then you have like model science. So a lot of times there will be something called a model species that wouldn't necessarily grow in the wild or like be on a farm anywhere.
Sure.
But it has enough of the
cultivated like in a lab kind of thing.
Exactly. It's made. It's a model species because it's easy to grow and it's close enough to stuff in the wild that you can run tests on it and like gather information that would be applicable to other stuff in the wild, and you can gain knowledge about the plant.
Okay.
So she is doing research on rice plants, and in the
you telling me she's going to revolutionize the rice paddy?
A little bit. I mean, the goal of science isn't necessarily to like find something useful. It's just to expand new knowledge. It's just to like learn more than what we already know.
Yeah.
And so the section that she's in is there's two kinds of rice plants, and it's a thing that plagues rice paddies. You have your rice plant, and then you have something called weedy rice. And it's called weedy rice because a little bit before it's fully grown and time to harvest, it loses all of its rice, because the way that rice comes off is it actually like shatters from the plant.
Right.
So like an apple tree, you need to pick it. Strawberries, you have to pluck them. Potatoes, you pull them out of the ground. But rice actually falls off the tree, and that's when it's ready. But weedy rice,
harvest it, right?
Yeah, and you can harvest it. But weedy rice actually drops its seed before it's supposed to, and it's pretty difficult to tell the difference between the two. And so I'm not going to get into specifics because the stuff that she does is it's a little bit like confidential. You don't want to get word out in case it gives it out to somebody else. But she's looking into the stuff that has to do with what makes weedy rice lose its seed, and she's going to eventually prove like this specific part of a weedy rice plant is causing it to be weedy rice.
Okay.
And that's like it's like really really big to have like a specific thing that can relate to a physical trait about a plant is like usually something that takes years, and she happened on this by chance.
Now let me ask a question.
A chance, yeah, of course.
Question, if you will. The question I have as a layman is that do you or do you not wash your rice when you make rice at home?
So I do. I do.
But what about your wife, as specific as a rice biologist, if you will?
Well, you know, she's taking the model species of rice, and she's taking it home to us.
When is her trip to visit the CCP, by the way?
True.
Base.
You know, that's also confidential. So anyway,
Bing chilling.
Bing chilling. We can't. We wash it. I don't not wash it.
Okay, fair. I always wash mine, but Sam and I actually had like a conversation the other day when she was making it, and she's like, "I'm not gonna wash it. It makes it more glutinous." I'm like, "That is fucking dirt. That is dirt on my rice, bro. That is dirt on my rice."
Yeah, it's germy. I don't think there's much nutrition. Gluten-y maybe if you have a gluten consideration, but I've never heard that before.
Well, glutinous rice is more like the sticky, like
sticky icky.
Yeah,
we like the sticky icky here.
Shut up.
On the 1 to 10 podcast.
The sticky icky rice.
The stickiest of the ickiest.
Vagina, am I right?
Okay, no. Whoa. I'm talking about that dank, that moist.
Oh yeah, moist,
smelly, gooey.
Moist three critical. That's the one.
So yeah, that's what. And then another section that she's looking at is the way microbes and plants interact.
I hope she affects the lives of 2.7 billion Asian people globally.
Well, the world, right? Because it's the biggest.
I mean, she could, but I don't think the Jollof rice aunties of Africa are going to let this white woman tell them anything about rice ever.
I mean, who knows? Maybe. You never know.
It might change the world.
Yeah, true. We brought them over once, so.
You did not just say that. Holy shit. Welcome to another borderline unacceptable episode of the 110 podcast. Episode number what, Eski?
Episode number 55.
57. God, you're always so close, but so far away.
No.
I miss Parm.
I do too.
He'll be back soon, actually. Like after this week, I think.
Okay. That's good
man.
News. Yeah, man.
It'll be fun.
It's good. It'll be good to have
indisposed with a wedding of epic proportions.
I just keep hearing every week weddings are crazy.
So let's get a rough translation and my gentrification as a white man of Indian weddings and my understanding.
Oh, yes.
Now.
Sorry.
So
my name is Eski, and I am a white man speaking on a podcast. I'm from middle class heterosexual, Anyway,
So
sorry.
the joke is that if you put 3 white guys in the same room and all the gear will just kind of appear. But since we've never had 3 white guys as a baseline for the podcast, we had to pay for all that shit. That
see.
joke has been made 50 episodes ago nearly. But that's all right,
Okay.
man.
Man.
But anyways, I watched Adam Sandler's hit movies Murder Mystery on Netflix 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So I need to watch
watched
the
1 and
second
2.
one.
Yeah, 2 came out recently, like last week.
Do you want to quickly
Surmise?
Never mind.
Have you seen 1?
No. Yeah, I've seen 1. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's talk about 1 then, because I don't want to spoil 2 for you, but I want to talk about 1. I liked 1. I thought it was good.
Great.
It was
It
good.
was very, very good. Yeah.
It was really good. It like Sam and I right from the beginning were talking to each other, being like, "Who you think did it?" And I was just like, "It's clearly made to throw you off. It's clearly made to do this way. Just let it happen. Like it's a movie."
Yeah.
And it was good for what it was. And then we watched 2, like hours later.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
I don't know, man.
Uh-oh.
You just can't capture lightning in a bottle twice. Like you can't make Happy Gilmore 2.
Can you appreciate it for like what it was, or
it was fine? It wasn't a complete waste of my time. Here's what the real takeaway was, though. So when I watched the first one, I was playing Marvel Snap on my phone, trying to like play the season out and like grind and like watching it. And then I started watching the movie, and I was like, I don't want to play the game anymore.
I'm like sucked in.
This is good.
Absolutely.
This is a good movie. I'll watch.
Yeah.
And then I watched 2, and I went in with the expectation that it would probably be like worth not time, like sinking time in something else at the same time. And it was not.
Right, you were.
It was not. It was. I watched the whole movie, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know why. I'm just genuinely less invested in this one specifically. Like it just was not as good, you know. Wasn't banging for me. It wasn't hanging. It wasn't swanging that thing in. It was just kind of
swinging low, swinging chariot.
It was just okay. It wasn't. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a sequel flopping. You know,
Yes, there is.
You got to try something out. I've never had a sequel be like, oh my god, this is better than the first one. So, actually,
let's discuss that. Actually, yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's consult the power of the Jugal, if you will.
Do you want to? Do you want to quickly throw up a? Why can't I think of this word? It's not rank. We pick 3. You and I pick 3.
Okay, I have it's called a draft, and I've got you
Let's
on this
draft
bitch.
3 sequels.
Because I've got the list, and holy shit, you're fucking monkey brain tank. Officially, that the fact that you said that there's not better sequels, because I just realized the list looking at this, and like even if we take the top 6 by result of votes from IMDb, there is no way we both don't result happy from this one. But I will gladly bequeath.
I don't know sequels off the top of my head, so I could eat crow.
Bro, okay, well, anything as a sequel can be part of like more than one. It does not have to be a 1 and 2 specifically.
Yeah, there's a lot of trilogies here.
There's a lot, yeah, and that's really easy. So you can take the first one. I'll even say that because I looked at the Google list first, and I'm just like not even ashamed if I lose the first pick.
Well, so
I don't even care.
I'm gonna start from the bottom, I think, but the
bottom?
The Two Towers is like a great sequel.
The Two Towers is a good sequel, but that's crazy that you'd take that over Return of the King. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I'm sticking with number 2. I'm gonna ignore the
no, eat my balls. I'm going to take my number 1 draft is by far going to be my favorite movie of all time. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
That is my favorite movie
That was number
of all time.
3 in the original trilogy, right?
No, number 2.
Number 3. Oh, that was number 2.
Yes.
That's where he loses his hand.
Yes, and he reveals that he's his father. It's the greatest
and Solo gets
it's the greatest movie twist of all time. Yeah.
He gets encased in
carbonite. Yeah,
okay.
Boba Fett. The bad guys win, and your good guys are on like a downbeat when the movie ends. It's a great movie.
Okay.
It's a great part of the hero's journey too. If you're doing a 3-story arc.
Yeah, you know what? That's pretty based.
Yeah. Also, it's just like my favorite movie of all time. Luke
Skywalker
based. Starts off in a fucking like ice storm and is dying and has to murder his companion Don to stay alive and sleep inside of its carcass. Amazing.
You know that there were like bruises and cuts on his face, and that actually wasn't all.
Do you know that snowstorm was real?
I did not know that.
That was in Switzerland when they were filming
it.
Yes, the snow was like feet high.
He was in an accident. He was in a car accident.
Yes,
and
he
so
was.
They built his makeup around the.
Oh yeah, he's been permanently disfigured by it. Technically,
you know what?
Scarred.
You know what? I think Revenge of the Fallen Transformers is a good sequel.
That's a terrible movie. That's just a bad movie.
I think the first Transformers was dank,
And oh,
and the
no!
second one
hold up,
was awesome.
Hold up. You were a kid when you saw that movie because I am older than you, and I was a teenager when the first Transformers movie came out, and
Yeah.
I love Transformers. Like
I
baseline,
was like 13.
Power Rangers, Transformers, right? But I was like 15.
Okay, yeah,
Okay?
you were old enough to actually watch.
Just
it and
old
comprehend.
enough. Just
Yeah.
old enough. No, you were old enough to comprehend too. But hear me out. 13-year-old boy brain still kind of likes the action figures. 15-year-old boy brain wants to think the action figures are cool, but knows he can no longer do this if he ever wants to get heterosexual poon slaying. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
You got to ease up on the display.
In
You
our
gotta put away the
specific
t-shirts.
line of life, okay, that
Yeah,
we know
true.
about. I'm
We
not
gotta
going to
keep
say I
it
speak
under
from any
wraps.
other experience, but I'm just saying we acknowledge the Transformers were cool, but even if you still have them somewhere in a bin, you cannot have them actively out and be like, you can't be
So
making
this is my Transformers collection.
right. You can't do
and-
that. You just can't, even
Yeah.
though you might have them, but they're tight. Either way, Transformers
have
are
my
sick,
third.
right? They're
I just
very
thought of my
cool.
third.
And also the Netflix series that's out now, hot shit. Don't watch it. But
Okay.
the upscaled version of Beast Wars on a YouTube playlist that is in 1080p, do watch it. It's innovative. It's innovative CGI for the 90s, in my opinion.
Oh, I just thought of two. We have to do a four. We have to do a
Now,
four-person.
did you take your second one?
I did. I said Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
That's right. I forgot. It's such a bad pick. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. Number
No,
one
you
pick.
just took mine.
Yeah,
no,
eat shit. That's a draft. That's the point. You take the good ones when you get them. How could you have passed on the greatest sequel of all time? The Dark Knight's the best Batman movie.
I didn't scroll it in the.
It's the best
I'm not
Batman.
thinking of
Batman
every
Begins.
movie I've ever
Batman
seen.
Begins, terrible movie. Dark Knight, amazing movie. I saw that
amazing.
movie at
Fucking
16
unbelievable.
midnight release. I ordered a pizza to the Wentzville movie theater. The one that's still out there. Or no, sorry, the Chesterfield one, the mega screen. Back when the mega screen was like the biggest thing you could see a movie on easily, other than going to IMAX. So release night, midnight, my brother and I and some of his friends went to that, and I ordered a Domino's, Papa John's pizza, Domino's,
Jesus.
or a Domino's pizza, and because they had like a promotion where it was like a bat like pepperoni pizza or something. I don't remember, but either way, we got a pizza. And then I had to go sneak to the side door to get the pizza to the line. And I just like ate pizza with people. And then I handed out pizza to like some strangers who we made friends with. And I was like, be
That's
quiet.
wild. Shut your
Yeah.
fucking mouth. Okay, I have three. I have a triple tie.
Well, we can go for four. We can go for
These
four.
are great.
We
Okay.
can go for 4 picks. I will allow 4.
So I'm
draft.
stuck between Gold Member, the Santa Claus 2.
Why are you telling me all these? You should pick one of them.
I know. Well, I want to say them out loud so that the audience knows what I'm considering. as
Absolute
I'm saying
clown
them.
behavior.
What?
You're
Okay,
revealing
fine.
your picks in a draft. This is silly.
No, because this is number 4
You're
for me,
silly.
right?
No, it's number 3.
I said, "Oh, suck my balls." I forgot. Okay.
what
number
did you
3,
say? What did you say so far? Remind us. Remind the audience.
I
again,
said
'cause I'm lost.
Santa Claus 2.
Wait, you said Santa Claus too?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
No.
I said
What are your 2
Transformers:
picks?
Revenge of the
Yes,
Fallen.
Correct. And your first pick was
Two
Two Towers. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm on number 3.
Yes.
I have to go with the Santa Claus 2.
That's,
What a
no.
great
What are you
way
doing?
to make the Santa Claus 1 a fucking awesome movie and to like relate it to
That's
like
terrible. That's a
where I
horrible
was
take.
at in life. Okay, you
I
just
can't
are
believe
shitting.
you. I
all
can't
over
believe
my
you.
life.
I can't believe who you are right now and how you're acting.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Number 3.
Listen.
Easy
number
take.
3. Okay.
Return of the King.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
take
gonna
it. Why
Sure,
wouldn't
that's
you?
fine.
Why would you take the other good Lord of the Rings movie?
because I actually don't think a 3-hour movie is that great sometimes. I'm sorry. The Two Towers was awesome because of all the action. The Return of the King. No, fucking.
The final alliance of men and elves is the greatest scene of physical army ever shown on
It's
film.
cool. And you know what was also in there? I'm no man. And
That
she
shit was
stabbed
sick. That was cool.
It was feminism before it was.
I'm
popular. She
sorry.
was even
You're
more
getting a
cringe.
little too red pilled even for me, Eski.
Listen, I never claimed to be a fucking commie. All right. So if you and I are gonna disagree in politics, then that's great because that's content, baby.
The good of the many versus the good of you.
No, Return of the King's great. I think Two Towers is just better. And that's purely a like monkey brain. I like watching.
Here's a take for you.
Huge
Peter
armies
Jackson fucking whiffed the bag when he did not show the on-screen death of Saruman or the defeat of Saruman. And he had to put it in an
Yeah.
extended edition, and he pissed off fucking Christopher,
Everyone.
or what's his face.
Christopher Hitchens.
The guy who played Saruman.
Christopher Nolan.
No.
Oh, this is based. Okay, so ignore the other one that I said, but it's your turn. You need. Oh, you said Return of the King.
Duh.
The Bourne Supremacy.
It's a good pick, honestly.
It takes all of the good things from the Bourne identity and it ratchets it up. It's like, those are just good. Those are good. Like
here are my
pleasure.
honorable mentions. I have 2. I have 3. Really, you should note. Spider-Man 2, pretty good movie. Pretty fucking good movie comparatively. Like really
True.
good actually.
Spider-Man 1's kind of
Toy Story 3, pretty good movie actually.
Good fucking movie.
I'll agree with that on the list. Aliens, also a better movie than Alien. Like by far, Aliens is really good. Have you ever seen Aliens?
No, I haven't seen it. Those are Scott Ridley, right? Scott Ridley films.
Ridley
Am I
Scott?
crazy? Ridley Scott.
Yes.
That's a girl, right?
That's not Ridley
That's
Scott,
the girl. No, Ridley Scott's the
Ripley.
director.
That's Ripley. And it's James Cameron's the director. Anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, it's Ripley is the name, and
Ripley.
it's Sigourney Weaver who plays Ripley.
Thank you.
Yes.
I haven't seen those.
Yes.
I was too young.
You should.
It's in my backlog of other things to watch when there's cool things now.
That's true, but Alien versus Aliens, I'm just gonna say
Great. Okay.
Aliens is very good. But my true number 4 pick is going to be The Karate Kid 3. I have talked about this before with Cobra Kai, and I will say it again. Terry Silver is the greatest movie villain of all time. He is a cartoon character in real life. In the movie, he is introduced by being in a bubble bath, hot tub, where he is actively plotting the destruction and downfall of an 18-year-old karate champion while he is running a company known as Dynatox, and he is on the phone actively bribing board members of the city office.
Based.
Red pilled. Andrew Tate is a pussy compared to Terry Silver.
True. Speaking of Andrew Tate, did you see that guy's out of prison and on house arrest?
I did see that, and you know.
And did you also see the demeanor change that he took when he spoke to the freaking press?
No, I didn't see the demeanor.
I just want to say I really respect the judges over here in Romania for honoring our decision to be let out. And then you can like pair that with the clip of him being like, I'm gonna go to fucking Romania because it's you want to send me to jail? Here's $1,000. I'm not going to jail.
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's stupid.
Let me lay into him some more so I can prove how not red pill I am. Okay, I'm a good left boy.
I mean, there's a level of being like. I mean, Andrew Tate's extreme right? Like you would say, like he's considered extreme right.
I don't know if he's not like white supremacist.
Okay, no, I'm not saying white supremacist. I'm saying
he's very far right.
Yeah, he's incredibly far right. Like on the spectrum of politics of left
conservatives.
To right.
I mean, when you're advocating for fundamentalist religion in any shape or form, whether it's Christianity or Judaism.
My
or
whole
Muslim.
thing is that like anything that's polarizing, to sit here and like make a take is pretty fucking middling of us to be like righteous in any way, shape, or form, which I don't think we are saying we are when we ever make a take like these about them. But it's just like, yeah, these guys are pieces of shit. They fucking suck. Boo, Andrew Tate.
Yeah. The thing,
I'm also balding, Andrew. Like,
I
dude,
don't have a Bugatti. I'm not stressed about the size of my Bugatti.
I just don't fucking care.
No,
it's just like, yeah, imagine like who the fuck are we? Like we're just two guys on the internet saying like, yeah, Andrew Tate bad, the most middling take of all time.
There's more things that we can say. Like the guy's actually
Top G University is a fucking hustle. It's a Discord server. There's more ethic
things
on the 1 to 10
challenge
podcast Discord server,
which is pretty hard to say with some of the stuff that you hear Eski say after hours, ladies and gents.
Based.
Follow us on Patreon and subscribe to get a glimpse.
Patreon is $1, $2, or $3 for every tier.
Hey, just so you know, if you
tier 3 gets you a Christmas card,
a freaking signed Christmas card. I will fly to beep 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 beep, and I will sign the Christmas card and send it to you.
Yeah, dude. No, we'll do sweaters on, pants off, and we'll do it with Santa with us, and we'll sign them and we'll send them out.
Now, let me say some hot takes here. Andrew Tate is funny. He's entertaining. He's very, very good at jumping on a wave and staying relevant.
Have you seen the video of the kid who was like in the class? And it's a male student.
I am the alpha.
And he's like, I'm the teacher. Yeah,
The
that video
the
was
alpha
insane.
overpasses the teacher. This punishment stuff needs to stop.
That video was insane.
Yeah, I mean, it really,
Holy shit.
because there's people that like Sneako's in kind of the same boat where everyone jokes like all
Yo,
of
you
your
got
fans
clips?
are 13 or
You got
14.
clips?
Yeah, that's fucking Jesus. They're magazines, bro. Wait, did you see the surrealist cartoon about that?
You mean the Meat Canyon video?
I don't know. I just saw some goofy
No,
thing.
Meat Canyon.
Okay.
No, hang on. Meat Canyon won it the art streamer of the year at the Streamer Awards too. He's like the guy who does all the weird obscure art videos. He does all of those.
It reminded me of Oni
He's cool.
NG.
He also
Oni
has been on. I do remember Oni NG. He was on what's it called? Steak and Eggs. That's like the Amaru Tectone and Asmongold podcast.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
OTK.
cool.
But he was on that one actually right after.
Oh yeah, shout out to Asmongold, little known supporter of the 1 to 10 podcast. Really appreciate you, buddy.
Actually, exclusively
Big
a tier
ups.
3 member of
Sending you
Patreon.
some
Pays
Dr.
us
Pepper.
$3. And
Sending you
Wendy's
some-
coupons. Wendy's coupons.
Some Wendy's coupons and Fountain Wendy's Dr. Pepper for you to let sit on your counter.
Banger take.
I think that Andrew Tate is very funny. So I want to hear your takes on that. I want to hear push back. Let's get some conflict going.
I think he's funny until he says something that is so horrific that I cannot take it. I don't think anything about rape is funny.
That's
Ever.
true. There is a line about rape that I will draw.
It's the notion that this person is funny to me is very funny. I remember seeing it for the first time. I thought he was, and then I saw what he said, and I was like, literally the next thing, like it was the same clip too. That was the worst part. I was watching the clip and I was like, this guy is funny. Like, this guy's a fucking character because I thought he was like. It was when like Hassan first met him, right? And I was just like, oh, what's going on with this Aiden Ross, Hassan, Andrew Tate guy? What the fuck is this nonsense? Thanks, LSF. And I was like,
Tate
who is this guy? And it was all in one clip. You know what I mean? Like in one breath, he says something that's so funny to me. It's like I thought it was a joke, and then all of a sudden, like, oh wait, he actually like kind of like he is a caricature of what he actually is, but he definitely also believes in some of the things he does. And that's like kind of where I'm like, no, never mind.
So then let's deepen this a little bit. Do you think the problem lies in the platform that allows his words to be spread, or in the individual that responsibly or irresponsibly consumes the icky stuff? What do you think?
It's in the individual, in my opinion, blatantly.
Okay.
And, like without like any kind of discretion, in my opinion. Children are, I guess you could say, like an area of gray because they don't have the same moral barriers or boundaries or whatever you want to say, or how they're raised. But the reality is that parents do. I love the thing parents are like, I didn't know my kid was watching this. It's like there are parental controls.
You can do things. You can make it a lot more difficult.
Yeah,
you can make it a lot more difficult
inherently, but you can make it way harder. You can make it way more challenging.
Yeah. Sure.
And I hate the notion of people being like, you know, even with things that have been on the pod before and then, you know, edited later and stuff. No long allegory on that, episode number 50. But with that whole thing,
the drama.
I mean, it already happened. Fucking 6 episodes, 7 episodes. Anyways, the point is that like sometimes people don't understand privacy and like how like people like I got asked one time, I was like, why did this post go like appear and then go away? And I was just like, so I took the post and made it private. I edited the post. And then when the time was right for the edited version of the video to come out, I re-uploaded the post in the edited version. She's just like, oh. I'm like, yeah, the internet's crazy, bro.
It's weird that you can do that.
It's weird that you didn't know that I could do that on YouTube.
How do you get these?
And Facebook. And it's not even someone who's old. It's just someone who doesn't understand.
They don't understand.
And imagine trying to explain that to them.
Well,
I hate it.
Imagine trying to explain like anything that's going on in the world right now. Like, do you remember the EV thing
shit?
from? Yeah. Do you remember the EV thing from last week?
Oh yeah. What's going on with the EV now?
By the way, if you guys don't know what's happening or what I'm talking about, check out our last episode. We watched a YouTube video about a man who has put an entire AI system that has cameras and speakers and microphones.
Of like a very like professional robotics and AI.
Yeah, he's developing a product that he will sell to people, which is basically an in-house AI system that will be able to like contact medical services.
One smart house IRL, if you will.
Yeah.
Watch the Disney Channel original
Best
movie.
Disney Channel original movie.
Probably. It's probably one of
But
the
on
best, yeah.
top of that, I don't know if you want to click into the ideas channel and give this a watch. I
Sure.
think that it'd be cool if we could give the
Which
1 to
one
10
is
pod
that?
the video that I shared.
This is the Destiny
It says
Yaga.
Alenciaga.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this your video?
Yeah.
Whoa. Eski's making
but
fucking content down here, boys.
But the important thing is, once we watch it, I will explain. I'm gonna sit silent for a second. And this isn't plugging my own shit.
All right.
There's a point. There's a point to this. Okay.
Hang on now. We're gonna get this podcast rocking and rolling in a second here with the video version of what you want to see here. All right. I give you Eski content. Destiny by Balenciaga. Say that again?
Distenciaga.
Distenciaga. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem speaking at all. Hang on. One moment.
Un
All
momento.
right, there we go. Little technical difficulties.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
ready.
We just need sexy ass Balenciaga going hard as fuck.
Okay. What? Did you make this
I did.
with AI?
I did.
Just because I had a dream I was dripped out in Balenciaga doesn't make me gay.
What the hell did you make?
But that's not the important thing. Just watch to the end. All right, it's like 20 more seconds.
Unfortunately, you are beset by poor fashion.
I think most people would find an 11-year-old wearing Balenciaga attractive.
The bad fashion needs to fucking stop. And if that means Balenciaga mowing down dipshit H&M workers that think they can make poor clothes for a living, then at this point they have my fucking blessing.
What the hell, bro?
Okay.
Holy shit!
So that's not an original Eski. All right, that is definitely ripped
Yeah,
completely.
but the last part, right?
Oh, yeah.
You did. That was you.
That was me.
The last little part you did. That was the Destiny bit. That was your bit was
Yeah.
not the whole thing, but it was the very end, right?
No. My bit was the whole thing. I'm just describing that the original like
Yeah. No, we've seen the Balenciaga thing, the Harry Potter one.
I think we saw the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I took the time today to understand what went into all of that, and I
Alright.
made that video in 6 hours.
That's
So,
crazy.
When I was talking to you about try to explain how crazy things are to people, let me break this down for you, okay?
right,
So
let's hear
first and foremost, I talked to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna release a video on this, like describing my process a little bit. I was gonna fucking have a heart attack while I was doing it because I was so excited. But basically, I said, "Hey, do you know who Destiny is?" And he's like, "Yeah, Destiny's a streamer." And I was like, "Okay, can you name 10 people from his community?" He's like, "No, he's not big enough. I don't know who he is." And I was like, "Okay, can you name 10 people from Harry Potter?" And it was like, "Yeah, here's 10 characters." And I was like, "Okay, name 10 notable people on a stream." And so he gave me some ideas. So I made a list. And then I watched the original video, the Harry Potter one, and I just wrote down who appears and whether or not they spoke. And for each time like a scene changed, I would include that. So I ended up with 22 different scenes that I needed. Then I went back to ChatGPT and I said, "Okay, I need you to write these 11 names in a list." And it wrote them out in a list. And I said, "Okay, for each person, I need you to create a prompt for me to enter into another AI that is going to describe them as a 1990s Balenciaga fashion model TV show still." And so it did it. It did it for each one. And so each of their outfits was individually picked out, and it had like it separated by lists. And I was like, "Okay, now I need you to remove their names from it so that I can just put it in." Then what I did was I found a still picture of each person. And in the particular tool that I used that could generate those images, you can actually upload a reference photo and then describe like what you wanted to do to that reference photo. So I would say, I don't think I have it up anymore. Hang on. Sorry. I'm
You're
like,
fine.
I'm gonna ramble on this for a second if that's okay.
No, this
'Cause
is insane. The theory of
yeah,
a madman. Let's
So we
let's
have
ramble.
1990 screen grab of male model wearing a black leather biker jacket with silver hardware, fashion movie scene, Balenciaga commercial, AR32V4. So that was like the same prompt, but like different articles of clothing for each person. So I
Okay.
would upload a picture of Nick Fuentes, and I would say black leather jacket, blah blah blah, and then it would give me 4 versions of them, and then I'd have 4 versions of Nick Fuentes wearing a black leather jacket, standing behind a thing, and so then I'd get to upscale one of those 4 or 2 of those 4 depending on how
Oh
what I
my
needed.
God.
Then I used another tool which is called Smart Labs, and if you pay them $1, they
Okay.
advertise it as 5, but they were giving a 80% off discount, so it's only $1. They will let you clone up to 10 voices, which means you can upload an audio clip of any person from 1 to 10 seconds. And then you can add attributes if you want to it. But that is a reference for them that you can then type a script out, and it will give you in their voice the things that are said. So for every single person that said words, none of that was original audio. It was all generated by the AI Lab Smarts. Then what I did was I took one more thing, which is DID Studios, and I took the pictures that were there and I told it to animate them. And you have to select like pauses. So you say, I just want this person to look alive for seconds, or you can insert the audio clip and then it will animate them talking to the audio clip. So I had 22 video files with this thing. They only allow you to make 20 videos, so I had to use my second email. So, and there were issues with figuring out which one to use. So really, I used like 1.5 of my 2 full accounts to make all of those. Then I just strung them together in Adobe Premiere. I set a zoom on each one to be consistent because that was with the video. I found the MP3, and it was done.
Wow.
And a lot of that's like all lore with Destiny stuff, but like that is something that I would have to hand draw the pictures, animate them, figure out how to program something to like replicate someone's voice, or pay somebody like thousands of dollars, or pay the person to say it. And then like the animation stuff is stuff that we've already known. But like the biggest chunk of time went into like figuring out how to generate stuff. And now that I've done that, I could make another one of those videos in like 2 hours, like guaranteed.
Damn.
Because I've like gotten through all the hooks and loops and stuff. So how the fuck do I describe that to somebody? How the fuck do I say, hey, listen, there is this way that you can like make things and be creative, and like I'm not trying to pass this off as like
Now
these people are
here's your
actually
next,
saying these
I have
things.
an idea. I have an idea.
Yeah.
Same
I'm
kind of
gonna write
concepts here. How to do this? Ready? How do we make our video content into banger TikToks of what we already have using
Yeah, true.
ChatGPT?
Yeah. That's
Like, seriously.
you just have to talk to them. You
Yeah.
just need to say, hey,
So it's like, hey, cut this video, these 2 cameras, and cut it back and forth to make it this like kind of format of TikTok where like would take your camera panel right when you're talking, and then pan over to me when I'm talking, pan back and forth, leaving blank
Yeah.
space. Whatever. I don't know how you all do that, but like, get the idea. I'm sure it's possible.
it's
Power
not
of
bad.
AI
It is
interesting.
definitely. Or what we could do is we could just take our audio and then we could assign like images to it and make the images look like they're talking. So we don't actually have to use the real audio. It could just
Using
be like,
ChatGPT. That's actually a banger TikTok idea. People will probably
Or-
eat that shit up.
the easiest way to do it, and the old fashioned way, I don't know if it's out of style now, but you would just show like the Discord call. Like you would record, screen grab the whole thing with Discord open, but then you would only show the zoomed in like voice channel so that when one person talks, it like lights up their thing. But that's not terrible. But you know, you'd have to include like Subway Surfer
Alternative.
underneath.
Alternative.
Yeah.
Go to, well, was formerly Anchor, but now it's Spotify for podcasters. Quote
Okay.
unquote. And just, there's the audio versions right there.
True.
Also-
Don't even need to fucking do stuff.
Also, you know, we could contact Jamie, ask him to give us the raw files, you know?
Yeah, true. I think he does have that actually. I think Jamie has the power.
Oh, look at that. Jamie just handed it to me. There they are.
Oh my
right there.
god,
Wow.
amazing. Wow,
Crazy.
Jamie, thanks,
Couple
buddy.
terabytes.
So anyway,
Weird.
to clarify, that was not a plug for how amazing I am. That was a experiment that I ran to say, how much is this fucking world changing? And do I only know how to use these things because like I'm on my phone and on my computer every day of my life? Like that, and then how the fuck do I explain that to my like grandma so that she understands what's going on, or my wife, or like, you know, and like it's getting scary. I was freaked out because of how cool it was, but I'm also like,
Yeah.
Anyone who edits content now is not gonna like, they're not gonna have a job in 10 years because you can like plug in you will be able to plug in a prompt to a chat GPT and it'll be able to do everything that I just did. I had to like talk between different programs because like they can't do that yet, but it's a simple step of just, okay, I want you to generate these things. All right, now plug them into their different things. All right, now put it together. All right, send it out. Like it's terrifying.
Send it. Animated shorts. That's our next step. That's what you should do instead. Instead of doing it, we should do animated versions. Animated shorts on our channel
Characters.
would be really good.
All right.
Animated shorts would be good.
I'll be like 500 pounds and you'll be like a Giga Chad, like weightlifter with a Metallica shirt.
I could just be the fat one because I am the fat one.
I'm the fat one too. Let's not get it twisted.
No, we're not gonna do this. But
okay, I'm not. Hang on, I'm not doing the thing that I used to do where I was like, oh, I'm just so unattractive. I'm actually like I am. Okay, it's fine. I'm very overweight for my size.
I will tell you this. I probably have you beat on paper.
I don't know, like
recently.
BMI maybe, because aren't you like 6 foot something?
6'2".
Yeah, so you already have like a threshold. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone. I'm sorry. This just got weird. I'm shorter, so I shouldn't be as big as I am. Is the thing.
I'm taller, and I still shouldn't be as big as I am.
Okay, that may be
Let's
true.
put it that way. I'm being very serious. I had a doctor to like, yeah, you need to lose some weight.
Get your shit together. Me too.
Yeah, that's cold, blood.
Summer of losing weight. 1 to 10 style. Huzzah.
Bro, I'm trying to just be a dad right now. You're fucking
true.
crazy.
You know what? I forget. You're in your first couple months, so
yes, sir.
You,
No, but
you
maybe
just enjoy this baby.
No, I've thought about the whole the chicken broccoli diet.
The thing is, crash diets suck dick.
It's not crash diet. You just eat like a dog for like 6 months.
No, you have to find a way to just be able to do it for the rest of your life and not be miserable.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
No, the trick, in better terms, the trick is to make the thing that is good for you the thing that you actually want to.
Sure. Yeah.
It's the mental training. Is if you can switch that thing that is good for you also to the thing that you want in your mind, then that is like a huge benefit.
But you don't have to like eat fruits and veggies all fucking day. Like you can still eat the stuff that you like. It's in
First
my
off, you eat fruits all fucking day, you're gonna get diabetes because it's full of
true because it's all sugar.
Yeah, you should be eating veggies a lot, and you should be eating like I don't know, some occasional grains and proteins in there too.
Well, veggies also suck the way most households make them. Like heat up some broccoli, put it on your plate next to your meatloaf. It's like, no. Look at Spain or
salt and
Mexico.
pepper.
Just like mix it into the meal. Make it a part of like the thing that you're eating.
Make a pasta.
Incorporate it. If you throw broccoli and pasta, if you throw broccoli and tacos. Anyway.
Yeah, you haven't had the broccolini tacolinis? What are you talking
broccolini, about? Tacolini.
Yeah, I don't know. Broccolini is a real thing, but the tacolini is just, it's taco with leany at the end. It's a rhyme, if you will.
You'd say Fleeb original, huh?
An absolute Fleeb heater.
Fucking bangers coming out, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's the one. I think maybe, probably not.
I also
100
by the way,
listens on Spotify only. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
True. Hey,
Maybe.
100's better than none, right? We're not posting to
music.
nobody here.
What are you talking about? There's no music. Who are you? Where am I?
I think I'm in a simulation. I think I'm actually still dreaming from my.
You know what makes me feel like I'm
on
also in a
Saturday.
simulation? That Donald Trump has actually been arraigned in court and pled not guilty to 34 counts of felony forgery of payments to one Stormy Daniels.
A fucking president.
My dude
charged
got
with a
caught
crime.
up because he said you grabbed him by the pussy. My God, he is fucked.
I think it's a political.
Out of
hit
all
job.
of the things, I think that would have been what got my man, the Don.
Fucking a porn star
The
was
top
not
father, if
on
you
my
will.
bingo card.
Yeah. Well, so notoriously in the so the top father is actually Broken Blade from G2 Esports, but that's a little League of Legends reference there. But when they're doing the AI videos a couple months back, right, or a month ago, whatever, when it was the League of Legends,
Yeah,
ones,
JVP and
Donald Trump was
Donald
notoriously a top laner, so
Okay.
he's like the top father in my opinion. It's the Don, the top father. He's just giving it to him.
Yeah, there's some crazy legal precedent that's like being tested right now, because the crimes that were committed were past the statute of limitations, but they are wrapping them into um, the subversion of democracy from a political candidate somehow.
Yeah.
And so that is like allowing them to charge him. And like it's uncharted. It's no one really knows how it's going to spin out. But by the way, you know what a grand jury is? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
I did not know what this was until last week. Even though
Elaborate for the audience, since you've learned and you have the
So a
best
jury
understanding.
is a group of Americans that are selected to sit
sir.
for a couple weeks and listen to the evidence presented by the
Coca-Cola,
prosecution,
a
and then
MasterCard.
the defense will cross-examine witnesses and stuff, and they'll go back and forth. That's what a normal jury is. You sit there and you sit in a court case. A grand jury is a group of Americans who are selected for not weeks, but on average 8 months and as long as 3 years to go to court once or twice a week all day and listen to evidence be presented by the prosecution, and then determine, does the evidence that I was seeing, does the evidence that I was shown break the laws that they're saying that it breaks?
Yes.
They're just there to determine whether they should press charges on somebody or they should arraign them. There's no defense present.
Huh.
No one except for like the court reporter, a judge, and the jury and the prosecutor are there. It's like super secret when it happens because they want to protect stuff. It's like a really weird thing. Like, who are these grand jurors? Who the fuck just like gets to disappear one day a week for multiple years? You know,
It's
like,
one day a week for years.
Yes, on average 8 months, like once a week,
See,
sometimes twice a
I
week.
understand now. So it's not. We're not talking a Johnny Depp trial case here. We're talking
No.
once a week we get a little update. on what's
Closed
going
courtroom, like eight
on.
hours.
We never get an update.
We never see what happens. No, you're not allowed to talk about it. There's nobody but the
Nobody
court
talk
reporter.
about it. No one.
It's not something I can't trump.
It's
I'm
not
working on it.
something we're going to talk about in the press.
Keep your eyes peeled. Follow
It's
my
all
link in the
lies.
description for the Donald Trump Balenciaga video coming out in 3 days. Just
The
kidding.
TRUMPCIAGA, if you will.
Yeah, TRUMPCIAGA. I love Balenciaga.
There's your next idea. There's your next AI video idea.
It's not a bad one.
This is
We'll
actually
see.
what we should just do now. The podcast, we just pitch AI video ideas and then let people try to steal them before you post them, but it won't be possible because the podcast won't come out until they're done. Basically,
Alternatively, what if we let ChatGPT tell us what to talk about?
Hey, ChatGPT, give us a
Give me 10 podcast
All right,
ideas
hang on,
right
hang
now
on,
to
hang on,
discuss.
hang on.
For the next 20 minutes, this podcast is brought to you by OpenAI. Thank you for buying up all of my loose graphics cards that I had laying around because I was scalping them from I'm just kidding. All the crypto miners were holding the bag for a little bit, but OpenAI is buying them all up now. So they're looks like they were saved, huh?
We're working on it.
Do you know what I'm talking about? OpenAI is like building the supercomputer. That will
Okay,
be
so
like the
do
demise.
you actually
of all
talk to it?
humanity.
Like, do you have to say like, "Hey," or just say like,
No,
give-
I mean just ask it. Just say
give me a list of topics. What should I ask? Should I talk to it about like knowing the 1 to 10 podcast?
no. He won't know what it is because he can't really surf the web. His stuff was turned off like a year ago. His trading data is all relevant.
Got it.
So I run a podcast with 2 people. I need some ideas.
Okay.
We mainly
Okay.
talk about gaming and nerd shit and a little bit of philosophy.
With 2 people.
While he's doing that, chat, I want to remind you that
15
if
minutes.
you are not following us on Spotify or
Like,
whatever
comment,
platform you're
subscribe,
listening
ring
on,
the notification bell, suck my dick.
if you
in
have
Minecraft.
not subscribed and hit the notification bell, I will actually suck all of your dicks if you do that right now. Not in Minecraft. Oh, what's that? You're underage? Sorry. I'm still sucking your dick. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. In a video game. I'm just trying to get as much out of Fleeb as I can when he is incapacitated. That's called abuse, everyone. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening. And what do we got, Fleeb?
All right. Well, this fucking absolutely dick shit idiot of an AI immediately want us to talk about its best interest, and it's just being very, very self-serving right now with the future of artificial intelligence being the number one. Like we already haven't talked about this.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna say that ChatGPT, I'm offended by you right now, looking at you.
Pause.
Pause.
ChatGPT.
Pause. Chat, if you will. Pause. Champ, if you also.
Pause champ if you
Yeah,
may,
dude.
if you must.
All right. The psychology of decision making, the history of innovation, the ethics of genetic engineering, and the future of work. No, because if he talks about ChatGPT doing that.
What are all the psychology
Okay,
of decision making?
listen, you little fuck. Hang on.
Get him. Lay it down.
Okay, listen, shithead.
We are on Patreon, chat. We're not memeing about that.
Fun.
If you want to see more behind the scenes
Talk
content,
about
there is
gaming,
none there. As soon as you
esports,
subscribe, you'll see some more.
philosophy,
Topless pictures, dick skin,
philosophy,
all kinds of
and
stuff.
cum shots. Give me a new list of 5. I apologize for suggesting did not align with your interests. We have a prevalence of 5 new topics to get with your preferences. I said, okay, listen, shithead, to ChatGPT.
Don't be mean. Don't
I
be
was.
mean to him now.
I
He's
was.
gonna be our slave
Okay,
master.
so the rise of mobile gaming, philosophy of, let's see, philosophy of gaming, the future of esports, psychology of competition, and the role of humor in gaming. Okay, so we're gonna talk
All right.
about 2 of them, and 2
Sure.
of them wrapped into one. We'll talk about the philosophy of why it's a good thing, and then we're gonna talk about the future because I actually have something very specific I would like to talk about.
Okay.
I did put this idea in the channel if you'd like to observe it. It's this link of sources say CLG has sold all staff. Besides the League of Legends vertical team, and the future of the brand is uncertain.
Yeah, they had a. This is an interesting thing that I didn't read about because I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about it live. They actually had a speed running team. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
So
yeah,
ZFG, our
Yeah.
favorite Zelda freak glitcha.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens to him. I haven't seen him. I haven't watched him live in a
He does
couple
not have a
days.
stream. He's not going to have a sponsored stream. He's not going to have a CLG brand associated with him.
No,
so let's
he did.
not anymore.
He-
Gone. Guaranteed.
Oh,
I
you're just
guarantee
saying
you. No, I guarantee you he's gone because Cody, which is a smash. What's his name? IBDW. He
Mhm.
started winning a lot recently, and he got picked up by CLG not too long ago. And now he has made a tweet saying he's teamless again. So I
Jesus.
guarantee you that
The speedrunning
speedrunner-
team also got
yeah. Also,
yeeted.
the quote literally says that everyone besides the League of Legends vertical team, like
Yeah,
the
I
vertical,
know.
yeah, exactly. So I
But I'm
don't-
just saying, like, what about his heart? What if he's sad?
All right, so let's talk about this. So the importance I think of this, because I was listening to something recently that kind of sparked my mind on this. I think we've talked about it before. That I have a cousin who's on an esports team in high school, and I think teams are starting to recognize that like you can play these games and like it can be a good team environment and a good like social skill thing and a good like it can be a benefit. Like kids just grow up doing this now. Kids just game
Yeah.
all the time, and it's better to get them in these environments where like they can make friends, cultivate interests,
Be required to exercise and eat well and stuff because they've got
like maintain
requirements.
proper GPAs, etc.
Yeah.
Like be
Yeah.
functional members of society. Have it's like building early work-life balance skills,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really important that if we have this generation or 2 generations or 3 generations, possibly even, that are all like afflicted with some kind of interest of this thing, and some who are going to be deeply ingrained with it because of the nature of how like their livelihood has existed, you know. Being a 15-year-old right now might be the craziest shit ever. I have no idea.
What if you like just started high school in 2020? Like you missed the first 2 years of being in school, and then
I mean, I know there's kids who like are like that situation. I have a family member who's going to be,
and they pretty much
soon.
just get to like, well, I don't know.
It's
I'm assuming.
2023, and imagine how much time they'd spent in school and how much time they didn't. You know,
Yeah,
COVID.
the majority of their stuff was at home. I wonder like if they're even required to like, are they just throwing in the towel for these kids and saying, let's just get them through. We'll get the next one.
I don't know.
That's
dude.
crazy, man. Yeah, but what does it mean also for LeBron's legacy
And the
No, I'm just
workforce of
kidding.
America and the labor force. But more importantly, let's talk about this thing that actually happened. So TSM, Team Solo Mid, and CLG, Counter Logic Gaming, two of the two oldest League of Legends brands. They were teams that were created around League of Legends in 2010.
Yes, based.
CLG, infamously, what it was is CLG was owned by this guy named Hotshot GG, and Reginald played on CLG with him, and then he didn't like the way he was running it, so Reginald said, "Fuck you, I'm going to make my own team," and made Team Solo Mid, TSM. Or they had their own separate websites. They had like guides and shit on them and all that, right? Successful little websites doing these things. And basically, last week it was announced that TSM was having some kind of thing where they're asking a lot of their players to take lower salaries, maybe minimum salaries of 75K for the year. So 37.5.
Only 75K.
Well, no, for months though, like 4 months, maybe even if you are realistically playing from. Okay, so it's April now, and the season would probably end in August if you did not advance to the global stage for international play.
Jesus.
Right. So you're living in LA.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
on
enough.
37.5K on 75K a year. So 37.5K for this point onward, basically.
But aren't you in like a house with like other people too? It's not like you're.
Is the housing included? Are they being forced out of the housing to cut back on the expenses of the company? No one really is 100% certain. I would hope the housing's retained, but I'm not 100% that that's being reported. And then much shortly after, CLG, which has been owned by MSG for some time.
MSG.
Madison Square Garden. Yes.
What?
Yes, they've been owned by them since like 2016. Yeah, I think that's right. Maybe even a little later after that. But basically,
that's fucking weird.
They has been sold, and all the staff besides the league team has been laid off. The future of the brand is uncertain, and they've been sold to NRG, another esports brand. They have a slot in the Valorant League. And what used to be the LCS studio in Santa Monica, California, is now the Riot Games studio, because they also run Valorant on the weekends there. Now they've started doing that as well. And actually, like the whole thing is that we now, being League fans, have gotten the shaft for a couple months for a whole split. Actually, we have finals weekend
because
this
Valorant
weekend
was taken
because it was planned to do that, but we had the weekend slots, but instead now. We have weekday slots. We have Thursday, Friday, and then they get the weekends. But then Europe kind of did a little flippy flop since Europe had Thursday, Friday, or whatever it was. Now Europe has the weekends, and then they do their Valorant during the week. So it's like a spreading out of the esports wealth ecosystem for Riot Games. But the future of esports is the big subject now that we can talk about and what we can mean of it. The bubble is popping. Like salaries, absolutely. Salaries are massively inflated in League of Legends, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars for years or 2 years or whatever.
Well, wait. So are they getting? I thought that they're. Maybe I'm wrong.
The minimum player salary for certain player for that LCS contract is 75K. That is being reported like by some orgs might be doing that and asking these players to take hits on their salary already down to those barriers. And
that's coming direct from their team.
Yeah.
So like if they play, they don't see prize money for the tournament.
But dude, Team Salt, you have to understand, like League of Legends, like with the LCS, since it started in 2013, it's been 10 years. Like last year was year 10. They are like one of the most storied orgs. They've won the most. They've been like, or one of the most times, I think. I can't remember if it's exactly the most or if it's the like whatever. But the point is like, there's only been like 4 or 5 that have won ever, and they were in the finals if they were not winning the finals like for years. So the point is that there's what's happened here is not only do you have like venture capital forcing up the bubble for years and years and years, and teams like buying slots and then selling slots. And it's mostly these VCs like buying into them to then sell because the evaluation's higher, so they can get a better deal. And then now it's years later where it's popped, and some orgs are now stuck doing the bare minimum or doing things that are going to not allow for a more endemic environment, I think, of like proper growth of the ecosystem.
Yeah, I just wonder, like,
North American talent like is already kind of just sparse comparatively to other regions.
yeah, especially in League, like it's all Korea, right?
Well, it's Korea, China, and then when you count Europe, even too, if you add all the major regions of Europe together, like Turkey and the Northeast region and the West region, it's like
Mhm.
5 million player base, whereas we have like 1 million something.
Are you fucking my dick right now?
Yeah,
I did
there's
not
just
realize
so
it was
much more
that
wealth of
big.
pool talent, and so there's like this. There's also here's my big take, and this is gonna be weird because I wish Parm was here to like bounce this idea back.
Mhm.
So in 2014, at the end of this year, what happened during that year was a Chinese team came over at the end of 2013 with someone who played in World Finals on the team, and they had this team called LMQ, and LMQ had to play through the Challengers League, which was a relegation-based series where they played upward through an online circuit. Then they play on a stage, and then
Yep.
they play for a qualifier to get a slot. And they got a slot in summer, and then they got third seed and went to Worlds that year.
Okay,
So this is a team of 5 Chinese players.
but they were representing America.
Yes. So that year they placed the import rule, where you could then only have 2 imports on any region.
Hmm. Yeah,
It has
that doesn't
been
seem fair.
nearly 10 years. I think the resolution to making esports better is to tighten nothing about the import rule, but loosen it by 1 and allow 3 imports. 2 NA talents.
You think that will be good?
Yes. I think you need to thin the pool of NA talents that you're allowing. I think you need to allow.
Well, but we're
other
already
options.
not doing well enough. We're already like sucking. So do you think making it more competitive is, I don't know. I think we need to just send him over there to train and stuff. Train against the
People boot camp in
people-
Korea all the time. It doesn't make a difference ultimately if you're.
Well, I don't know how the whole thing works. I'm just saying a
Well,
good idea.
wait, people don't boot camp like actively during the season, but they will boot camp like when there's gaps in the season or
Yeah.
like weeks before an event happens if they're going international.
We just need to get good, right? We can't hold on to Valorant.
I mean, that's what
We couldn't
Faker
do
would
CS:GO.
say. That's what Faker would say. And then,
We
that's the
never
thing.
were good at League.
Valorant just got switched over. You know, it was Brazil versus EU in the most recent final, and it was Fnatic who won. Boaster final won a title. You know, so
Yeah.
with that in mind, like, is there any hope for NA? Probably not. It's just the real tragedy is the fact that the 2 oldest league brands and not these other ones that are like other esport brands like Cloud9. I mean, Cloud9 is successful. NRG is probably going to be very successful. Evil Geniuses is doing well right now. FlyQuest is the new dog on the street for LCS.
What it
because they
seems
get,
like is happening is just it's like the big dog is getting like knocked down and pegged because
All right,
it was
here's
too
my
much.
other takeaway though. I'm going to say this though, just before we get
Yeah.
too off the topic of it.
Yeah.
Not only do we need to open the import gateway, maybe what also instead of just making it 3, maybe we just allow the amount of time it takes for someone to become a native from 4 years to 2 years, and allow people to become residents because residency rules are pretty cool. It's like once you get your green card after 4 years, you can be an NA
Wait,
resident.
but would that be feasible though? Because isn't the normal like it's not your prime, but how long is somebody in esports? Isn't it like one of the shortest careers ever?
I mean, I think there's been a real turnaround in the last 2 years on mythos of people who are old have been playing for so long or whatever. Because there's
I
some
just
people who
remember
are
hearing
like,
it was like 4 years max or something, and then like your arms are shot and you can't do it anymore.
nah, I think that's a myth. I think there's people who are just absolutely skilled at the game who can just keep playing forever.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
But some of the boomers are not the best, but some of them are still pretty good. I think it's more. I don't know. I think it's drive ultimately.
Yeah.
I
wanted to speculate on the finance a little bit just before we wrap this up.
Yeah, before we go on that, yeah. So in the finance, let's start there. I think the team league, the LCS specifically, is 10 teams. I think we should just go down to 8.
Okay. I mean, all that seems reasonable. I don't know
We've done
enough
8
to.
Before. We should do 8 again. I think that would help. I think it would make it
I
more
could giga
interesting.
chat and just say you're wrong, but I don't have any. I don't have the resident knowledge to like make a decision or
I just think there's
know
some
if
fluff.
it'd be good or bad.
And I think it's also because it's a partnered like what's the NBA? What's the word? Franchise system? Yeah, it's a partner franchise system. So it's like set teams, right? Set locked in organizations. I think maybe balancing it out, making like I don't know, part of the balance, maybe 5, 6 of the teams locked in franchised organizations, but the other ones are relegation based and they can play up or down, and they could
Well, the problem is like
tenure
this is
out. You know, like
it's
if you think about Premier League soccer really quick with how like these things are structured, right? I don't love FIFA, but with the way like there are teams that are in the upper bracket and like in the upper leagues, and if you play bad for a long enough time, you drop down. So you have a high chance of starting off for a long time being a super famous organization like Cloud9 or something, where you can have, you know, if you're performing well, you never have any really threat to be out of the top league. But if you're performing poorly, you can drop down after so many inconsistent failures and be in
Then
that
you're, like-
challenger circuit.
yeah. That seems reasonable actually.
Yeah.
It feels like the ecosystem of esports like really props up it builds off the backs of like content creation, which is I think mainly an American thing, right? So there's a lot of value that American content creators drive towards
so do
brands
you
and
think
stuff.
that the new thing would be that these content creator based esports organizations?
Yeah, I just don't see the value in esports organizations like fundamentally. I think that it's different. Like, sure, you can be a sports team and you can provide entertainment. And I think wasn't last year the biggest LCS or the national ever? Like, it's still continuing to grow.
I don't think that is. I don't know. On viewership, I
Like-
don't know if that's 100% true. I think
was
Worlds
it
had
2 years
it was
ago?
Worlds. No, Worlds had like the
Worlds.
highest viewership. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
international.
and-
International is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. So okay. So what? Yeah, I don't know what the
Okay, so right now what you have in the normal season, you have a spring and you have a summer, right? And in between spring and summer, there's the MSI, the mid-season invitational, where the two best. This year they started doing 2, but it used to be 1 best team from each region. Now it's 2 best teams from the major regions. So the best teams in the world, you know, at that time get together, and then Worlds is like either 4 or 3 teams from each region that are major, and that is at the end of summer. So
Yeah, so what
that-
would be-
Worlds is the time you're talking about, the end of the year, the biggest tournament of the year.
Yeah, I don't know the statistics on the local US stuff, but
It's
it doesn't.
It's been not great. A little over 100K hour average viewership across all sources
That's rough.
recently. Yes,
That's
it is. The
really
last
rough.
couple of years. It's been fluctuating up down recently, like 130 to 150. The last couple of weeks with playoffs and week 8 being a super week and stuff like that. But it's definitely not in the place where it was in 2018, where it was at its peak. Like 450K.
450. Yeah, I remember like close to 500,000. Yeah, the thing is just, it seems like brands are starting to realize that, okay, if we're dropping $1 million on like a really, really highly viewed like event,
Yes.
we are not getting nearly as much return on that than if we're like spreading $1,000 here and there. Or what does like Chipotle do, where they go to a streamer that has like 40,000 people and they give away like 50 burritos, which is like $2,000 or something. And they'll do that. Like, it just seems like they're parsing out their marketing instead of being like one big check to one person or 5 big checks to 5
I've heard
people.
that too, that there's like this ecosystem where big streamers, you know, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000
Plus.
viewers
Yeah.
don't get a lot of sponsorship offers.
No.
But people who are 4,000 to 10,000 viewers get a fuckload of sponsorship offers because
Yep.
it's parts. I think these are parts per thousand is usually like the metric of what most things are measured by for payout.
Yeah, CPM,
Yes.
cents per milli,
It's cents
So-
per milli.
which milli is 1,000 in the metric
Oh,
system.
thank you.
So there, your ad revenue will be cents per milli, and a good CPM on YouTube is like $8, I think, or 80 cents, and a bad one is 10 cents or $1. It's some like factor of, but you have like a shitty video that'll get 1 million views, but you'll get like $250 or some like ridiculous number because it's not marked as brand safe. But even that, I think, is just like, is that method really profitable for companies? Are they gonna start like sucking their revenue back in and then piecing it out to like individual creators that
Yeah.
in lower amounts for smaller audiences and stuff? Sorry, I think that might be what's playing into this particular move, where you have the biggest esports team, just kind of like what does it offer? Entertainment, sure, but like, is that return on the money for the sponsorships really enough, or is negotiating brand deals in a potential recession like?
I'll
what is
never
that doing
forget the
for them?
Dr. Pepper TSM commercials. RIP.
Yeah, seriously.
Season 7, 2017, baby. the peak.
Miss you. Miss you.
I don't know.
baby.
It's just gonna be weird because TSM. Like the thing is, like with TSM being the team they are, like they haven't been in an international tournament in like a couple of years, and like people at Worlds will still chant TSM.
Yeah, they're like ingrained in the culture, but
It is.
it's not like it's what matters realistically is like horrible as it is
Yeah.
like, can this brand get people to buy more of their products because the team that they're sponsoring
So
is
what they're
doing
going to be
well
doing
there.
though, apparently, is they're going to be still being a merch company, a merch, with no esports team or streamers. And then they're also going to be, I think they're actually going to have some like esports stuff. They have like Apex streamers. I think they're going to have like a few streamers and stuff like that. And they're going to have the Blitz app that they use, which is like
Yeah.
heavily favored in China.
Trying to get that
The CCP yet again added to work.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, absolutely racist of us to say something like that. But you know what? I am fine with the accusation that Andy Din is very interested in benefiting off of the CCP allowing Blitz
Winnie
app
the
to
Pooh,
let
give me some of
people-
your honey.
I mean, okay, think about this. An American app can be used in China for League of Legends, which is the largest region by far. They
Didn't
have
they
they have the largest player base. No, they have their own
Didn't they-
servers.
No, I thought they banned it for ages 18 or younger, or 17 or younger, or something.
I don't know.
Did that get turned around?
Doesn't matter. It does not matter per populace. And then you have to understand the LPL is like the NBA basically of
Yeah, I remember
of
my dad used to
esports.
talk to me about that with freaking the esports were so popular back in like 2005
He
that
was
he
watching
would
Star League, bro. Your dad was,
he was
fucking
watching Warcraft.
yeah. He's watching
he-
fucking Brood War and shit. Yeah,
I didn't know this, but he was
Yeah.
actually top 100
Shut
humans in Warcraft 3. Yeah.
he played Terrans.
No, he didn't do StarCraft. He did Warcraft 3.
Oh, he played humans in Warcraft 3. That's sick. I played Warcraft 3 and then I played Dota in Han.
Yeah, you played the custom maps and stuff.
And then I learned to love League of Legends before I learned to love League of Legends, and that's my
Yeah,
crippling addiction.
Here's the real question to wrap the whole thing up, the
Let's hear
shebang
it.
bang.
What does it
Can
affect
we-
LeBron's legacy? Yeah,
Train ChatGPT to play League for us. And then we can
'cause I
reap the
enjoy
benefits.
playing the game.
Can we convolute it to where we have to solve
Telling
mathematical
myself
equations?
I'm hovering
like
the league
losing.
icon as we speak.
Anyway,
You know, hey, can we talk about something really quick before like the LeBron joke? I just want to make light of this. I started thinking about LeBron a lot more because of two reasons. Number one, watch a documentary on Netflix called The Redeem Team. Very good.
Okay.
Hour and a half. It's on the 2008 men's Olympic basketball team that won the gold medal after
It's
their
on my
embarrassment in 2004. Very good. The Redeem
I'm
Team.
typing it
Check
right
it
now.
out. That's a Fleeb's hot watch list right there. The Redeem Team.
the Redeem Team.
And then the other thing I'd like to bring up is the fact that Multiverses, which was the competitive Warner Brothers Smash Bros. Like clone game that was out, which had LeBron James as a playable character, and I was in open beta for a long time, and then they took it down, and they're going to re-release it next year as like a full game. I'm
I'm
just
pog
like-
champing right now.
Wait, what? I'm like, what?
I'm
I've
pogging.
never. Well, have you ever seen a game really do this before?
No,
They just like completely
never.
remove the game. Like we're going to put it back in like 6 months when we've fine tuned
Well,
it.
Dark and Darker is going to try and do that. We'll see.
If Nexon allows it. With that, we're going to wrap up another episode of 110 Podcast. See you guys later. Bye.
Love you.